mean, you have cities that have certainly made very risky, high payoff investments to build a fiber connection out to every single home, and sometimes beyond city borders. Those are high-risk investments. We've always agreed that they were. We think that they can be worthwhile, and they've paid off in most cases. In some cases, they have not worked so well. I would not say that all of those end up being disasters, but there are some cities that regret it, a few of them. Other cities, though, have taken lower-risk approaches, and they've encouraged more private sector investment, or they've focused on their community anchor institutions first, and then build out the businesses to lower risk. So one of the things that I hope you'll leave here thinking is that local governments, Fillmore County, really have a range of policy options from which they can choose. And that will lead them to work with different partners, potentially. The county might do it itself. It seems really unlikely in this case. I think the county is really going to be looking to work with other established entities, trying to help enable them to make these investments that are needed. So, but to make this point, right now, one of the things that we're seeing in places like the Twin Cities that have pretty decent connectivity overall compared to the rest of the country is that there's a big discussion about bandwidth caps. So even though I have sufficient download capacity into my house, I may soon be limited as to how much I can use per month. This is the sort of thing that drives me nuts, and that's where when Fillmore County is thinking about what it wants to do, if it ends up going with a company like CenturyLink, which has bandwidth caps, or a company like Comcast, which has them in a few places, I'm just throwing them out there as an example. Comcast is probably not going to come to Fillmore County, but some companies have embraced bandwidth caps, which limit your usage, and I think right now is the time to think about who you want to work with. And I think you want to work with local companies that are less likely to just try to figure out how to rip the maximum amount of money out of the community as possible. You want to figure out how to enable local investment, people that are going to be in the community and not want to engage in practices that could be harmful to local businesses and residents. As we're thinking about this isn't just about speed, this is about quality, it's about pricing, it's about other things you may not even be aware of yet if you're not used to having a high capacity connection in your home. So next slide, please.